A sophisticated, mature, and scholarly voice. The tone is informative, objective, and warm. It strikes a perfect balance between being engaging and formal. Clear articulation of dates and names. The style is classic documentary narration, similar to high-end historical productions on BBC or National Geographic. Antarctica, the southernmost continent, is located at the Earth's southernmost point. It includes the geographic South Pole and lies in the Antarctic region of the Southern Hemisphere, almost entirely south of the Antarctic Circle, surrounded by the Southern Ocean. Its area is estimated at 14,200,000 square kilometers, making it the fifth largest continent, roughly twice the size of Australia. Antarctica is by far the least densely populated continent. Ice covers approximately 98% of its surface, with an average thickness of 1.9 kilometers, extending to all areas except the McMurdo Dry Valleys and the northernmost reaches of the Antarctic Peninsula. Antarctica is, on average, the coldest, driest, and windiest of all the continents, with the highest average elevation. Most of Antarctica is polar desert, with an average annual rainfall of about 200 millimeters along the coast and much less inland. The equivalent of 80% of the world's freshwater reserves lies there, enough to raise global sea levels by about 60 meters if it were to melt completely. Temperatures in Antarctica have reached as low as -89.2 degrees Celsius or even -94.7 degrees Celsius, according to measurements taken from space. The native organisms of Antarctica include numerous species of algae, bacteria, fungi, plants, protists, and some animals such as weevils, nematodes, penguins, seals, and tardigrades. Vegetation, where present, is primarily tundra. Antarctica is considered the last landmass on Earth to be explored in recorded history. It remained largely unseen until 1820, when the Russian expedition of Fabian Gottlieb von Bellingshausen and Mikhail Lazarev aboard the fire ships Vostok and Mirny spotted the Vemmelgold ice shelf. However, the continent remained largely neglected for the remainder of the 19th century due to its harsh environment, lack of accessibility resources, and isolation. The American expedition, led by First Lieutenant Charles Wilkes, discovered Antarctic land for the first time in January 1840, an achievement accomplished around the same time by a separate French expedition led by Jules de Montt-D'Urville. De Montt-D'Urville managed a temporary landing. Wilkes' expedition, while not landing, remained in the area for an extended period sufficient to survey and map approximately 800 miles of the continent. A team of Norwegians made the first confined landing in 1895. Antarctica lies asymmetrically around the South Pole, largely towards the Antarctic Circle. It is the southernmost continent and is surrounded by the Southern Ocean. From another perspective, it can be seen as surrounded by the South Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans, or by the southern waters of the World Ocean. Antarctica is home to a number of rivers and lakes. The Onyx is its longest river, while Lake Vostok is one of the largest subglacial lakes in the world. Antarctica covers more than 14 million square kilometers, making it the fifth largest continent, about 1.3 times the size of Europe. The Antarctic ice sheet covers about 98% of the continent's surface. This ice sheet has an average thickness of at least 1.6 kilometers and contains about 90% of the world's ice. If all of this ice were to melt, sea levels would rise by about 60 meters. Rainfall is low in most of the continent's interior, averaging only 20 millimeters annually. In a few areas, rainfall is less than mass loss due to sublimation, resulting in a negative local mass balance. In dry valleys, the same effect occurs on a bedrock, leading to the formation of an arid zone. Antarctica is home to more than 70 subglacial lakes. such as Lake Vostok, discovered beneath the Russian Vostok Station in 1996, which is the largest subglacial lake. It was previously believed that the lake had remained closed for between 500,000 and 1 million years, but a recent survey has revealed significant water flows from one lake to another. Antarctica is the coldest continent on Earth. It remained ice-free until about 34 million years ago, when it became covered in ice. The lowest natural air temperature ever recorded on Earth was negative 89.2 degrees Celsius. However, an even lower air temperature of negative 94.7 degrees Celsius was recorded in 2010 by satellite. Although this figure is likely influenced by ground temperatures, it was not recorded at an altitude of 2 meters above the surface. Inland temperatures reach as low as negative 80 degrees and negative 89.2 degrees in winter, and reach maximum temperatures of between 5 and 15 degrees near the coast in summer. The northernmost point of Antarctica recorded a temperature of 20.8 degrees Celsius on February 9, 2020, the highest recorded temperature on the continent. The aurora borealis, also known as the Southern Lights, is a radiant display in the night sky near the South Pole, caused by the plasma-rich solar wind passing through the Earth's magnetosphere. Other unique phenomena include diamond dust, a ground-level cloud composed of tiny ice crystals that generally forms under clear or near-clear skies, sometimes referred to as rain in a clear sky. A sundog is a recurring atmospheric optical phenomenon, appearing as a bright spot near the sun. Antarctica is colder than the Arctic for 3 main reasons. First, much of the continent lies at an elevation of over 3,000 meters above sea level, and temperatures decrease with altitude in the troposphere. Second, the Arctic Ocean covers the Arctic region, and the relative warmth of the ocean is transferred through the ice sheet, preventing temperatures in the Arctic from reaching the extreme low levels typical of Antarctica's surface. Third, the Earth is at aphelion in July, its farthest point from the Sun during Antarctic winter, and at perihelion in January, its closest point to the Sun during Antarctic summer. While the orbital distance contributes to colder winters in Antarctica and warmer summers in Antarctica, the first 2 factors are more significant. A large area of low ozone concentrations, known as the ozone hole, is located on Antarctica. Scientists first discovered this hole, which has reappeared every spring since the 1970s, in 1985. The hole covers almost the entire continent and reached its largest extent in September 2006, while 2020 saw the longest recorded occurrence. The ozone hole is caused by the release of chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, into the atmosphere, which break ozone into other gases. The ozone hole reached its lowest point in the past 30 years in 2019 due to a warmer polar stratosphere, which weakens the polar vortex. This reduces the formation of polar stratospheric clouds, which are essential for the chemical reactions that lead to rapid ozone loss. The ozone hole reached its lowest point in the past 30 years in 2019 due to a warmer polar stratosphere, which reduces the formation of polar stratospheric clouds, which are essential for the chemical reactions that lead to rapid ozone loss. The invertebrate life of Antarctica include microscopic mites such as the Antarctic mite, lice, roundworms, tardigrades, rotifers, krill, and springtails. The Antarctic fly, the largest purely terrestrial animal in Antarctica, is flightless and reaches the size of 6 millimeters. Antarctic krill, which gathers in large, tame groups and moves together, is a staple of the Southern Ocean ecosystem and an important food source for whales, seals, leopards, fur seals, squid, icefish, penguins, albatrosses, and many other birds. Few terrestrial vertebrates live in Antarctica, and their range is limited to the subantarctic islands. Some marine animals depend directly or indirectly on phytoplankton for food. Marine life in Antarctica include penguins, blue whales, killer whales, giant squid, and fur seals. The emperor penguin is the only penguin species that breeds during the Antarctic winter. It and the Adelie penguin breed further south than any other penguin species. The snowshelf is only one of 3 birds that breed exclusively in Antarctica. Fur seal hunting in Antarctica grew striving dollars for their fur. The Weddell seal, the true seal, was named after Sir James Weddell, the captain of the British Weddell Sea Seal Expedition. The leopard seal is an apex predator in the Antarctic ecosystem, migrating across the Southern Ocean in search of food. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell icon to receive all the latest updates.